That's how I met your mother.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the Tales from Cestria, a series of stories from the land of Cestria and the world of Terras Venrohyun. Well, I'm joined by a bunch of crazy people as we play some Dungeons and Dragons. And
don't act like you're not a part of this crazy family.
Don't worry, we're perfectly part of this.
Get out of the dungeon!
No! Not until I get my Medicare. That's...
No!
Listen here, you filthy Saiyan. No.
Oh my God. So, yes.
What are you talking? We all know Caleb is a Namekian. He's still holding out.
What? Because I have that green on me?
Anyway, as you can tell, we were talking about Dungeons and Dragons before we came into this chat here, and by that I mean Dragon Ball Z.
No, Dungeons and Dragon Ball Z.
Dungeons and Dragon Ball Z. But yes.
What do you mean the Namekians has rights?
What do you mean?
Shut up!
Anyway,
I find this attempted...
go on.
I'm now testing Mike, gangster.
Anyway, before we get started with today's session, there are a few announcements to be made. I'm coming off of a full day off of stream from just everything, so I should be in a good mood today, and I have a lot to plan. This weekend, if any of the constituents here wish to join me, I will be continuing the Otome game in the evening of Saturday night. I
guess we could be considered constituents. We do support you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your support.
All right, well, you lost it. I'm leaving.
Damn it. Anyway. So.
No, he's really gonna feel the pain of that one follower. He's really
No. Anyway. But yes, so the Otome game will be continuing tomorrow in the evening, barring anything stupid. I say that because, you know, who knows what will happen tomorrow until it happens. Other than that, game development may continue on Sunday night as well. Who knows? I'm still waiting for some people to get to me on the current play version of the game. And so we shall see in that regard. And that's really all the announcements I have. Yeah, I can't think of anything else at the moment. I have too much Dragon Ball Z nonsense in my head. Do any of my players have any announcements they want to make?
You're welcome. Join me tomorrow on my channel, Zero Treasure Reject, to play some Cyberpunk 2077. Haven't played that game since release, and I'm curious to see how well they fixed it and how good the actual game is.
Yeah, it's really good.
We'll be playing that for the entire stream, unless one of these fine gentlemen joins and wants to play something else. So look forward to that.
I'll keep that in mind.
waiting for the day Cyberpunk becomes the multiplayer, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. Big sad.
Not unless you want to mod it, so.
Yeah, I was about to say the modded Skyrim, like a mod Cyberpunk.
You trying to mod Cyberpunk so we can play multiplayer?
So what is with you and mods lately, man?
Hard to say.
Oh, you don't have a right to speak about mods, Hita. I've seen your playlist.
I'm curious and also frightened.
I see your playlist.
You've seen my XCOM mod list. Good job.
For shit.
That shit is always hard.
XCOM, 90% of the mod, it's cosmetic. Yes. Oh, there was one thing I did forget. If you want to support the channel and affect the stream in any way, hey, consider subscribing to my channel, because I do a Wrath and Glory system where, as going down right here, we have the Wrath dice, which are a set of D6s that I can use, and then we have the Glory dice, which are the same set for the players. These allow my players to add a D6 to any attack roll, ability check, or saving throw by just adding a simple set of D6s to their rolls to alter it. And you can help by donating one to my side or to their side. And it makes it for some interesting scenarios that may happen. Anyway, as we can tell by the slightly serious music here, a lot has happened since last session, so who among you would like to recap? What has
1, 2,
happened?
3, not it.
Not it. Woo! That was close. You was caught me.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about that. I'm not a child, and I'm not going to do the recap. So. Great thing about being mature, you don't kind of follow any rules. Just someone spouts out of nowhere.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? That's our
the
democracy.
ancient tomes of.
Well, since no one wants to talk about it, and the last time our heroes, all right, now that the warm-up's out of the way, hey, when last we left
Red
our
leather, yellow leather.
heroes, they traveled from Dragonia to Prazel, the capital city of the gnomes as a race in the continent of Cestria, where they were searching for the next chosen wielder for the 12 Blades of Light. Following a small debate on the actions in which they wanted to take, whether they should go apologize to the Mafia straight up and ask for their assistance in this regard, or to follow Hanyakusha's lead. It ensued, but ultimately they followed Hanyakusha's lead, which led them back to the house of Jimpok, the great and powerful wizard, the elderly gnome, which they learned was originally the chosen wielder of the blade over 1,000 years ago. And now his great granddaughter, Hilfa, is the next chosen wielder. He's over 1,000 years old, man.
There's a lot of child making between one and the other.
Yep.
Pound it.
He walked up to the local villagers and was like, "Hey, baby, how you doing?"
Let me show you my magic. Anyway, with that out of the way, our daring adventurers, wanting to avoid as much conflict with the Mafia due to the actions of a few individuals from last time, attempted to sneak out of the city under disguise and relying on the fact that half of their members were not here originally when said incident of burning down happened. But as the party split to Phantom and Pasha remaining at Jimpok's house, while the Hanyakusha, Barb, Kyoku, Ragna, and Pilfa herself attempted to leave the city, they found themselves surrounded by the Mafia members. After a somewhat tense conversation, the Mafia members informed those at the wagon that the boss wanted to have a word with them and nothing more. Which, when negotiated to not have a conversation under duress, the Mafia members lowered their weapons and informed them that they just want to have a conversation.
Fake news.
I just want to have a chat.
Just want to have a chat.
That's usually what they say before they pull out guns.
I'm just saying, last time Hangakusha wanted to have a chat with them, a house ended up getting burned down, so.
I seen Godfather 3. I know how this
Well, if all else fails, I could just breathe fire, burn down another house. There you go.
No, now you're speaking my language, Ragnar. Let's
Right.
go.
Boy!
But we're gonna jump back to Jimpok's house as about 10 to 20 minutes after the other fire chambers left, there was a knock on the door. I wonder who that could be. Could you go get the door for me, lad? As Jimpok refers to you, Fasha, as Phantom is currently upstairs finalizing his ritual.
That doesn't seem right. When I approach the door, do I hear anything from the other side?
Make a perception check.
Hang on,
First
let me find my
roll of the
D20.
night.
Alright, D20 is acquired. Perception. Let's go. That's not good. I'm going to use a feature. I'm going to use my favored by the gods feature. Pita, which allows me to add 2d4s to a failed saving throw, miss an attack roll, or add to... Nope. This is just a check. Never mind. I can't add shit. It is a 6, Hita. You're welcome.
No, from just listening to the other side of the door, you do not hear anything.
Oh, nice. I walk away from the door and be like, I don't think anyone's there. I think it was a prank call.
Another rap at the door there.
What,
Felt a
Hita?
knot in his stomach, and he said, "Yeah, I decided not to do that."
No, I'm kidding.
There's
Fine, I'll go answer the door. I answer the door.
Standing before you is clearly a member of the Mafia. Very nice suit, standing at about 3 foot tall.
Stealth check. No, kidding.
Hey, the door's open. Where is he?
What's going on? I was right here sick. No, I'm just kidding.
There's some dude behind him that's like, he's right in front of you.
Yeah. Further down at the front of the outside of the front yard area, you do see several other Mafia members kind of just standing nearby. Only one of them's at the door. Greetings.
Greetings. I'll get the old man for you. And I'll
Actually,
start walking away.
we just want to have a word with you and the other individual that's in this building at the moment. If you'd be so
It's
kind.
just,
It's in this building. Move.
it's just me and the old man right now.
Make a deception check.
Nice.
For the love of
That's still not good. How is a 15?
I understand that you're trying to cover for your friend, but we know there's at least 3 of you in this building, including old man Jim Park.
Alright, you got me. Okay. There is, in fact, a familiar in this house. Okay, it is in crow form. I will go get it for you.
Preferably, we would like the master of the crow, if possible.
You're looking at him.
Make another deception check.
Ooh.
What the fuck are these rolls? 12.
Oh no.
Jesus, no!
Believe
You
me,
tried so far.
listen, the more you keep lying, the more you put yourself in the hole. So I would kindly ask you to get the gentleman in with the darker skin tone to come down here as well.
With the darker skin tone.
Get him.
Why? No. Well, why can't I just get you?
I was like, fine, I'll go
Jesus.
upstairs. I go upstairs, I find the room that Caleb's in, and I immediately open the door and then close it behind me. I was like, Phantom, we have a problem.
My bird will come out and like, what's up? As I use one with the shadows. Because that is all I need to hear.
Is there a window? Is there a window in this room?
There is a
Ethan?
window in the room, yeah.
Phantom, they already know I'm here. You've got a shot at getting away.
Shoot. Well then.
All right. Well, and I start
Okay,
I would telepathically speak to him, but I can't because I can't see him.
You see my
I was like-
bird. You can speak telepathically to my bird, can you not?
Would Phantom get the message if I put words into his
No.
bird's head?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not how it works.
Not telepathically.
It's not two-way radio.
Two-way radio, no. He can see and
Alright.
hear from it, so you can speak to him. But the mind is its own thing.
I'm like, all right, Casper, Phantom, out the window. I'll lie and tell him that you're gone, and I open the door and I walk back out. And I come back downstairs, and I'm like, so I'm not even joking. I'm not pulling your chain here, Mr. Mafia member. He's gone. He was up there. I was lying at first, but he's no longer there.
Make a deception check.
I know it. I sounds like the truth.
Don't worry. Actually, make it either a deception or a persuasion check. Your choice, because you couldn't see him, so you have no idea if he's actually in there or not.
You know what? My persuasion's higher, and I already rolled, so I'm not gonna roll again.
I know what you do way too fucking well.
29.
29.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so?
Yeah, you caught me in my lie. I fully admit he was up there, or at least I thought he was. But when I went to go get him, he's no longer there. Even Casper's gone.
Yeah, that one is a lie, though. Who's Casper?
Well, okay.
How's it like? They go together.
Okay, fine. I was like, we can go back to the deception check. 27 or 28. Yeah, 28. It's like not much of a difference here for me.
Who's Casper?
That is the familiar I was talking about. It does have a name. Most familiars do if you actually bother to ask.
I was just verifying because I don't. The only records we have of the fire charmers is that, and there is a Hanyakusha, there is an Alexa, there's a person named River, and he's actually pulled out a note.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. How did it get my name when I labeled my name under something else?
I don't remember what your name that you labeled your name under.
Thing.
Party foul.
Yeah, Party Foul, he signed a magical contract with a fake name.
Was it a magical contract?
I could have swore that the contracts that we sign at the Adventurers Guild to join in a party and then have that party registered at the Adventurers Guild has to be signed magically, if I'm remembering correctly. And then not only that, the Mafia literally reported us to the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, the fire charmers, not the individuals.
Yeah, but would
They
they
would
not?
know his
Would they
name.
not? Would they not share that individual, the individual party members' names to look out for them in the city because we were banned? It really just depends. Hita, did we sign magical contracts at the Adventurers Guild?
You did sign magical contracts at the Adventurers Guild.
Are you able to put fake names on magical contracts?
No.
No.
Yeah. And as far as like who was actually looking for you, technically it was the cops, not the Mafia.
Either way.
Neither here nor there. Anyway.
Yeah.
We also have hey, what is this name here? Hey, we have a river, or we have a Saria. And I forget what dang it, what was his name? What was the half giant's name?
There's a
We have a Victor.
There's a few more names on that list. You might want to finish it off.
Well, these are the names that we were looking for because they were registered before, or additional people were added to it.
They added additional people. Huh?
Documentation incomplete. Okay.
You can tell that these aren't the official documents. This is the notes that he wrote down in his own book.
He just took out a notepad.
He took out a notepad, yeah.
It's the size of a fucking sticky note. Huh?
All right. Well, let's have a chat. I preferably do it outside of this flammable house.
Without a problem. If you come with us to our carriage here, we'll take you to the boss.
Persuasion.
You want to take me somewhere? I thought you just wanted to talk.
Yes, the boss wants to have a word with the fire charmers. Your friends have already been and met along the road there. They're on their way to meet the boss as we speak.
Shit. Fuck. How many Mafia members did I see?
There is at least 5 that you can see.
Fireball. Oh my god.
Just follow up back. We're stronger together.
Look, it's your call. You do whatever you want. I'm nowhere near.
If you step this way, sir.
Hang on, Pita. I am thinking of my next move.
Doon, doon, doon,
Okay,
doon, 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 doon.
Just start singing the songs from Notre Dame slowly.
All right, Hita. As we start walking to the carriage, how is this group? How does this group start walking?
The group is being rather cordial, actually. They don't look like they're gonna try and force you to do anything. They are just they are more or less there. You can tell that they're probably here in a large amount in case if something does go wrong. But no one is forcing you to do anything. In fact, they open the door to you and just for you to go inside.
I mean, they are giving you the royal treatment.
Yeah, they are treating you like you are a guest.
All right, I'll play along this time, but just know if I had access to 6 level spells, I would have been like, I get in the carriage.
Oh yeah.
The gnome that you were talking with hops into the carriage with you, along with one other Mafia member. The rest of them get on the side of the carriage, and the carriage is dragged off by the Shetland ponies that are leading the carriage. It is a little tight. It is unfortunately a gnome-sized carriage, so it's a little tight for you.
Fosh is just sitting in his carriage with his head bent because it's like, and even with his head tilted, it's still touching the ceiling.
I apologize if the accommodations of the carriage is not suited for one of your stature.
It's fine. So you want to give me a hint of what this conversation is going to be about?
Sadly, I don't know what the boss really wants to speak about. Boss does that, and find the fire charmers and bring them to me. I want to have a conversation with them. Be cordial about it. Don't be hostile about it. That's what he said.
Personally, I'll put a bullet between your eyes.
That's not very cool. That's not very culture or whatever the fuck he said. All right, I don't really have anything else to say to these guys.
All right. In the meantime, I'm
The Phantom is by himself.
Phantom, what are you up to?
Oh, I assume I finished,
you finished the
my
ritual.
ritual,
Yeah.
and I have my bird now.
Yes.
So I'm going to use my bird to kind of like. I'm going to use my bird to tail him
All right.
Wait.
at a very
question.
high distance.
Wait, question. And this is a really unique question because I'm being creative about this.
All right.
Ones with the shadow allows you to become a shadow and be in with the shadow, right?
No, the way that one with a shadow is when you are within dim light, right, you are considered invisible to sight.
Okay, never mind. I had a plan, but never mind.
Yeah, he's not literally melding with the shadow, and literally a little bit of light, right, will reveal his location.
I was about to tell him to become a shadow,
or
be
someone has
one with his
blind sight
own
or
shadow
true
and
vision.
fly over.
If someone has true sight or blind sight, they would still see him.
Maybe even tremor sense to detect his location.
Exactly, yeah.
No, I got hit with a Hydra sense in my last D&D session.
Yeah, it's the same issue with Gloomstalker. If you are invisible in darkness. This is true. You are, to the naked eye, you are basically invisible in darkness. It does not make you invisible like the spell does. So any attack that you do in that general area, if they know you're in that general area, it's done at disadvantage because they can't see you. But they know you're there because if they didn't see something move or hear your footsteps move, they know you're still there. You didn't just disappear and become invisible.
Yeah, well, that's all. That's all the question I had. I had a clever idea.
Yeah,
but it
being
didn't work out.
stealthy and being invisible to sight are two different things. Pretty much is what it is. So, with that in mind, eventually, everyone except for Phantom is led back into the city of Brazil, and actually led to a high-rise building a little bit closer to downtown area. Pasha, as you are you arrive a little bit after the other members of the Fire Charmers are walked up to the building.
Of course.
So everyone, and you kind of just see a black carriage drawn by Shetland ponies coming up. The door opens. You see two gnomes step out, and then you see like a clown car. You see Pasha stepping out and kind of like stretching his neck.
I screamed at that point. That's the guy who sold us the car.
Look through my bird cap.
And I just squint my eyes at Hangakusha and I go, you know, asshole, they already know who we all are.
You think I was gonna break character of that lie? You're crazy. I'll roll deception for this.
You mean you certainly can, but do it at disadvantage.
Oh, what do you mean?
I literally just told the truth about your lie. What do you mean?
They only have a name. They don't have my face. They can't confirm that that's me.
Am I able to peer through and see all of this through my bird?
Unfortunately, it is beyond your reach of control. So you can give it you can give Casper instructions.
No, thanks to communication. Thanks to communication of the chain master, I'm able to peer through this as long as I'm in the same plane of existence.
You can say, hey, can you go look at this, and then Casper will do it. You do not have control of it. It's beyond the limit of the control aspect of you peering through your familiar, not through the.
I have communication through the chain master.
Yeah. And again, so, am I being stupid? Yes, you are. I said yes. You can communicate, but it's beyond the control limit because you can control your familiar actions and everything like that up to a certain distance away, and then from there it's communication only.
Anyone else feel?
I'm looking at this thing. I feel like I'm being.
Anyone else feeling like Caleb's being oppressed?
That's fucked. I repeat myself. Namekians have rights.
Attack to the chain, and you learn to find familiar spell and you can cast it as a ritual. Oh, the spell does not count towards the spell sync. When you cast a spell, you choose one familiar. Additionally, when you take an attack action, you can forgo one of your attack actions to allow your familiar to make one attack in its own response. That's the pact of the chain. And now going to the find familiar spell.
Communication of the chain master. Guys, back me up here.
I don't have the book. The book. I mean, I guess I'm open. I don't know what.
While your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as an attack action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining the benefits of the special senses.
Master states I can communicate telepathically.
Where
my familiar, perceive through its senses and speak through it in my own voice as long as I am in the same plane of existence.
Yes.
Is that an invocation?
It's an invocation.
Yes.
Yep. Back to the chain feature.
Okay, voice of the chain master. I see. You can communicate telepathically with your familiar and perceive through your familiar senses as long as you're on the same plane of existence.
Yes.
Additionally, while perceiving through your familiar senses, you can also speak through your familiar within your own voice, even if your familiar is not normally incapable of speech. He's technically right, Hita.
Yeah, I know. I never said he wasn't. I said it was beyond the control aspect of it. So you have to instruct Casper, hey, fly down there.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
I never said that you could not communicate with him. I said you cannot control him. So if Casper feels like he's in danger and needs to fly away, he will fly away without you having control over it.
I didn't ask if I can control him. I asked if I could see through his eyes.
Then say yes.
Oh, damn it!
We're on the same page here.
Peter!
Just gonna casually sip tea.
Anyway, so what do you tell? So you're telling Casper to fly up to the window?
You're giving me a darn migraine. I hope you know this.
I could send you an Excedrin.
Send you an Excedrin. I'll overnight it.
I just tell him to follow the cart.
All right, so the cart has stopped up, and he's now kind of circling high. Actually, he finds a perch on a building across the street. Ian is looking down at it.
We should have told him to
That's
follow
fine.
Fasha.
Well, Fasha was in the cart, so he followed the cart, which had Fasha in it. So technically, he followed Fasha.
Yeah, but won't he just continue following the cart after I get out of it?
Casper is more intelligent than you take him for. He probably understands what Phantom was asking of him.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so you guys are led into the building, at which point, yes, you do lose sight of them specifically. So you're mostly just watching the building, Phantom.
That's fine.
Yep. As you guys are led into...
That I understand.
Yeah. As you guys are led into the building, it's a fairly nice building, kind of office-like, actually almost like hotel. Almost like a hotel office. It's just hard to explain and best describe. You follow the one individual that clearly looks to be the one that's actually in charge of this group of Mafia members, and leads you to a small, very tight-packed room. If you step inside here real fast.
You're talking to Fasha, all of us.
I am speaking to all of you.
Okay. Walking.
As I'm trailing behind Hangakusha, I telepathically speak in his mind. Hangakusha, I don't like any of this. Be ready to burn your way out.
You're wrong. It just goes in.
This small tiny room of 4 walls, it's a very tight fit for all of you, and you see the one Mafia member and another one come in, and then the room of the door closes as it slides shut. And
I prepared to dodge.
there is no room to dodge. It is probably about a 4x4 room.
To dodge. There's such thing as ducking.
Yeah, it's about a 4 foot by 4 foot room. You see the gnome with near the front put his hand over front of a plate, and you see an arcane sigil activate before the floor jerks beneath your feet, and you feel yourself being like pushed into the ground.
Oh shit!
Relax, we're just going to the upper floors.
Oh. I thought, look, Hita, you described it, and I thought my first image was a trapdoor.
I saw was a teleportation that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah, you're feeling yourself being pushed into the ground, I said. Not falling through the ground.
I speak up and I go, you'll have to forgive him. He's not very magically inclined.
Understandable. This is the latest
I'll show you
technology
magically.
some of the gnomish engineers have invented. They call it the elevator.
Oh my fucking
Elevator.
No! I hate you so much.
Arcane lift.
Right? Thank you. What the fuck?
Peter, how are you so bad at this?
Hang on. As soon as he tells us he tells us it's called an elevator, I was like, oh yes, I believe I've heard of this magical advancement. I believe it was used to be called an arcane lift. I see you guys changed the name.
Well, the arcane lift is still a thing used in mines. The elevator was named more for the fact that it's in a building that elevates above the skyline. At least that's what they told me. I don't know. I just activate the magic seals.
My dude's like over here. I just press the buttons, okay?
I just press the buttons. That's all they pay me for, huh?
Anyway, you go up for what feels like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. It's a fairly tall building for a gnomish building. As you get to the top, there's a nice boom as the door opens up.
Was there elevator music?
Yes.
Wait, I got you.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
Only the
music.
rich people have those.
There you go.
I fucking hate it.
Alright, we're done. So, let's see. Let's see. Let's do. I don't know this song. Right. It is the one I was just playing. Nope, that's too dark. That's too dark. I guess we'll just keep with this one then. I have a better option. Anyway, so as you guys, as the door opens up, the the gnome individual, if you would, gesturing for you to step out.
Can I come over first?
All right. I don't want to know what happens if I stayed here and it goes back, or if I'm halfway in and it goes back.
I would push you out and further into the room. Is what would happen.
Well,
I don't think he has the strength to do that.
I don't think he does either, but yeah, I go anyway.
Yeah, you don't say.
So after everyone leaves the thing, he steps out and nods to the other gnome in the elevator, which closes and it goes back down. You guys are led down a long hallway. There's no windows in this hallway, but you do see like several doors along the side. But you're led to the end of the hallway as two gnomes open the door, revealing a very nice office. Kind of dim, the curtains are closed behind the windows, and there's magical lights around, giving it a soft yellowish glow. And sitting behind a large, very fine-looking, like oak wood desk, you see a familiar. Well, two of you see a familiar face. That of the godfather of the Mafia itself, ones that you have met before. Good. It seems you're finally here.
Oh, shit.
Have a seat. There's a lot I want to discuss with you. And he gestures to the several chairs in front of his desk.
I sit at the chair that is farthest away from him.
I prefer to stand.
Are the unknowns host?
You don't monk train and everything.
No, it's actually not. Oh, hi, Hanyakusha. as you walk into the room, you feel as if you're walking through a veil of some sort.
Shit.
Any enchantments that anyone has as they entered into this room, disguise or otherwise, is dispelled.
Shit.
Got him.
Wait.
I made the right choice by not even going.
I still have my mask.
Yeah, your mask is still on, but your disguise self is dissipated.
Good thing I have a shirt on this time.
You have a shirt on.
A lot
Yes.
of things.
Yeah. But yeah, you all see the illusion that Hanyakusha have drop as soon as he walks into the room.
Oh my god, he's hideous.
I have a mask on. How can you even tell?
Mask covered in sticks, twigs, monster parts, spider fangs, and
First of all,
claws.
whoa, you're making it sound hideous than it need to be.
There's spider
It's
appendages
just
on
monster
it.
part.
The spider
There's not
appendages.
sticks, twigs, and other shit. What the fuck?
I was more picturing like a mask that a Fey Noble during like one of those
The mask,
event parties.
the mask that I wear is made out of the body parts of my enemies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of an
Where did the
imaginary
sticks and twigs come from?
from the initial build.
Oh my god, is that what that
So
smell's been since I've met you? Oh my god.
There wouldn't be a smell. They're hollow.
Just like your head. Anyway.
Just like your noblism. Huh?
Oh,
Oh,
you just hear a shockwave. Ooh.
Anyway. First off, you probably have questions about why I wanted to see you today.
Like a mini.
Nope, not at all.
All right then, I'll get right to the point.
Shit.
Right to the point. Dang.
That's
now,
right.
I know it's not all of you are responsible for the incident that happened late last year, but you are now associated with the individuals, as he gestures to the two individuals, or at least
Who's it to?
Who you think?
No, because he doesn't know it's me.
Yeah, as he gestures to, he gestures in the direction of Fasher, and kind of unknowingly gestures towards Nyakusha.
Again, how? I was disguised as a human when I was here.
You just hear the Godfather go, anyone whose name isn't Hungakusha, raise your hand.
You are breaking so many things right now.
Ranga raises his hand.
You have a question? Yes,
What?
he asked Rogda if you had a question.
Oh, no. I was joking about the.
This is why we say Anakin.
Yeah. Oh. The biggest thing is that, yes, the last time the fire charmers were here, you launched an attack on my boat, burned it to the ground, killed several of my boys, and basically endangered the life of my daughter.
I turned to Fasha. You did what?
I turn to him and I go, there is no anti-magic in this room or in the world that can save you from the fires that are burning in my soul right now, Hungakusha. So if you wish to continue this farce, please go on and see what happens.
Enough. As such, I have been following the actions of the fire charmers quite closely within the last couple of weeks. In the last couple of months, technically.
Oh?
News of your achievements are not unheard of in some locations.
That's fair. You are quite famous.
As such, I have the proposition for you.
We're not assassinating anyone.
I'm not asking you to bog.
Well, that actually depends on who it is.
I'm not asking you to off anyone yet.
What do you mean yet?
Let me be frank with you.
That's what he said. Yeah.
You guys were wanted by the cops for arson.
We didn't do it. It was this guy.
Doesn't matter. The fire charmers as a whole were wanted for arson. As was the letter.
I'd like to point out it was his plan.
And he holds up the letter, shows it to you all, and it says, as the note owed, from the fire charmers.
That note that Hunyakusha left.
The note
I look at that, it's like, wow,
left.
what neat handwriting.
Now here's my proposition. You're probably wondering why you weren't arrested on sight when you arrived here.
Charming good looks and handsome personality.
You
No,
just want us to get shot.
no, because I had some of the boys speak to the cops and allowed you passage through without any hindrance. As such, I can get your name cleared and you be free to roam Plethora as much as you like. But you just gotta do a favor for me.
Alright, what do you want?
Wait. What depends on the favor?
I'm pretty sure that's how he's got to tell us what he wants so we can figure out what kind of favor it is.
Depends. If I say depend on the favor, it makes him question the words he's about to say.
Does it really though?
So, tell us straight up.
Recently, there's been some activity within the branch families of the Mafia. Activities that I do not condone. Alone. Tell them what you discovered in your site. As you see the gnome that you've been walking with come up. That met you, Hunyakusha, and the other group, and the one that has been with you guys for the most part here. Recently, it seems several members of the family have decided to commit some more heinous acts that the Mafia currently doesn't approve of. For instance,
I have a limit.
For instance, human trafficking. We did away with that a long time ago because there was not much profit in it anymore.
Not because
So the reason is not because it was bad. The reason is because it wasn't profitable.
That's one reason.
That's crazy.
The other reason is there was no point in doing it. Recently,
Really?
one of the daughters of the higher-ranking family went missing, and I found out some of my boys were going against the rules. They were kidnapping young girls all over the place and shipping them off to places unknown. As you're aware, slavery is illegal in Cestria. The dealings that we don't want to mess with. That's we have the guardsmen coming down our necks.
Understandable.
So I put a stop to it. But it leads me to believe that there are others in the family that are committing other acts that are not, how should we say, favorable to anybody. I want you to investigate these families. As someone not connected to the Mafia directly, you'll have a little bit more free reign to get away with whatever you want. You see, we has rules in our, we has rules in the Mafia. We don't mess around with other people's business, unless if there's absolute reason to do so. Unfortunately, whoever's behind this plot is very sneaky about it, and as such our hands are tied. I want you to investigate them and find out if they're doing anything unsavory. I want you to stop them.
And if they're not?
Then you move on to the next family.
How many families are there?
There's 6 families in total. I want you to investigate 3 of them.
Okay, hear me out. I'm not saying no yet, but we are on a very important mission that you took us from.
Then you should
and I'm
make
talking
quick work
about bigger
of this.
than this.
Then you should make quick work.
Ooh, he said, I don't care.
I'm
I telepathically
he-
speak to Hangakasha. Hangakasha, I don't think this is a request we can refuse.
Besides,
Let me remind you, you are currently
it's a
wanted
good
by...
thing I'm doing.
Let me remind you, as he actually addresses you specifically, Hanyakasha, because you're the one bringing this up. You are currently wanted by the police of Brazil. The majority of the precincts do not know that you're here, because I made sure that the cops that were in charge of watching the teleportation network didn't send a report that you were coming in. But I could easily just let them know that you guys have returned to town and they can arrest you on the spot.
That is crucially fair.
So you do this favor and I clear your name. Simple as that. It's an offer you can't refuse.
I mean, you only... There are a lot of things that could be refused here. But I'm trying to tell you, sir, the level of this thing is world threatening. I'm not even lying to you right now.
That's what
Your family would be in danger if we don't handle this fast enough.
It'll be the first time he hasn't lied this entire session.
Perception check. Because he doesn't believe you anyway.
Make a persuasion
I mean,
check.
you said, hold on. You said it yourself. Your boys has been tracking us this whole for the past month. So you already know the incidents that happened and where we came from.
Make a persuasion check.
What the fuck? This shouldn't even be a persuasion. Damn, only 15.
Let me show you. Personally, I didn't want to talk about this in current company. Alone. Bring the crate. Everyone else, clear the room. As you see, like, several of the other Mafia members that are in the room, kind of in the corners and everything, like, looking around slightly confused. Slowly, one by one, they leave, and Al Pallone comes up with a small box. Places it on the desk in front of the Godfather and before you guys. Once all the other gnomes clear the room except for the Mafia boss, except for the Godfather and Al Pallone, he opens the box. In there you see a strange purplish greenish plant. It is unnatural compared to most wildlife things. If Diva was here, she'd be like, that's not a natural plant that exists in the world. Masha, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Okay.
You use the dice. Use the dice.
You know I don't ever do that.
Oh
Hangakusha doesn't matter. Would you like to know why? Because Nat won.
For a total of. For a total of
3.
3.
But it's a natural 1, so how do I critically fail this?
Oh shit!
Who's sitting next to Fasha, real fast? So who's next to Fasha?
You said that the Godfather was at the very top of the table. I'm assuming this is like a long rectangle table.
No, it's a desk.
It's a desk.
Yeah, you're in an office, pretty much.
Oh, so he had like just a group of 5 chairs or 6 chairs just in front of him?
Yep. You were sitting,
okay,
sitting in the furthest one.
I was in the...
Yeah, you're in the back of it, so...
Back right corner.
yeah. Who is near Fasha at the moment?
Well,
Ragna will be sitting in front of Fasha.
Alright. So... Fasha... A sensation rolls over your mind. Like your vision gets clouded to some degree. The sound of the audio of everyone talking around you slowly starts to fade out, and you just get tunnel vision on that plant and that plant alone. Your breathing starts, your heart rate starts to pick up, and your breathing starts becoming more ragged. You have no idea what's going on, but you feel yourself losing control of your body. And you slowly start building magic in your hand instinctively.
Oh no!
The fire starts swirling around Fasha's palm.
Oh, come on, man!
Ragna, being immediately in front of him, you sense this. You sense a immediate hostility in the room behind you, as a trained fighter and everything like that. Turning back around, you do see the flame starting to form around Fasha's hand.
Like, I thought you just wanted to jihad in Fasha. Like, put my hand on top of the flame in his hand. To snuff it out in his hand.
It burns you. Make a constitution check.
I have fire resistance.
Make a constitution check.
He is going to be like, maybe it's a magical fire.
As a 10.
Alright.
I looked to
I'm taking damage. I'm going to be
Thankfully,
a
you
little bit
succeed.
better at taking the
You
damage.
thankfully succeed. You take 2 points of celestial damage.
Oh, geez.
What? Since when he knew Celestial?
It's Warlock fire.
Yeah. This fire burns you, which brings a shock to you. Talpalone sees.
Fire.
Yeah, all of you see this happen. Talpalone immediately draws a gun and points it at Fasha. As Fasha begins trying to wrestle his hand free from you, Ragna. So, Fasha, go ahead and make a contested strength check against Ragna.
All right.
27.
All right. All right. Anything less than a nat 20, I fail. So. No way, bro.
20?
I nat 20'd.
For a total
Let's
of...
go! Wait.
I will send a picture. I will for a total of 18, but it's a nat 20.
You don't break free of the gas, but you do change the flame from the one hand to your left hand, and you fire a firebolt specifically at the flower, at the weed.
Huh.
I guess attack roll with disadvantage since I'm messing with him?
Wait, I don't think you should stop this.
Does anyone try and intercept?
Oh, I don't know what he's firing at, so I'm intercepting.
He's firing at the plant.
He doesn't know that.
Oh, I don't know that.
All he saw was
firing at the dude. It was like
fire around my hand, and then he tried to wrestle me out of it. And then all of a sudden, a gun is being pointed at me, and then I try to cast another spell with my other hand.
I hop in front of the gun.
All right, so you don't try and stop the firebolt. Well, you stand in front of him. Yeah, all right. As the bolt flies out, it hits the flower precisely and incinerates it right there. The Godfather just like, what the hell? And the desk kind of catches on fire, and Talpalone just immediately starts snuffing out the fire that happens there. Slowly, Ragna, since you're like direct face to face with Fasha right now, you actually see that his eyes are glowing in a. What color are your eyes, Fasha?
It's been so long, I forgot actually. So let me check my background. My eyes are green.
You see that his eyes are like a burning blue with in a glow.
Alright, so I see this. I assume he's being possessed. I'm gonna wrestle him to put him prone.
Yeah, which is easy enough to do, because as soon as the plant gets incinerated and burns away, Fasha, you feel control of your body returning, and Ragna, you see that the glow in his eyes returned back to the emerald green that his eyes were.
My body went lax all of a sudden, and then fully Ragna had control and just put me into the ground before I even realized what was happening.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dawn would sense murderous intent coming from Yakuza.
Hang on, Hungarkasha. I was like, Hida, do I have any recollection of what just happened?
You remember seeing the flower, the plant. You remember getting tunnel vision on it, and then the next thing you know,
Ragna's on top of me.
Ragna's on top of you, your face first into the ground.
Bounce, go out,
you do realize that something has happened, but it's not one of the situations of like, what the fuck happened? You realize, shit, something happened, and I have no idea what happened. So it's a
Ragna, I get the message. I won't fireball you on the ground again. Can you get off me?
Not until I figure out what the heck just happened.
I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Hey, the Dawn will see or foresee murderous intent coming from Yakuza, with the words coming out of him of, "What was you about to do with that gun?" Huh?
Defend himself?
So you're talking to Talpalone, or you're talking to the Godfather? Because Talpalone pulled the gun out.
Oh, the Godfather? I thought the Godfather put the gun out.
No, Talpalone did.
Ah, got it. Huh?
Yeah. And as he's kind of like snuffing out the last of the flames on the desk, he turns to you. I was going to protect the Dawn should I need to. Would you do the same for your boss?
When? I am the boss.
Yeah. All right then.
Would you do it?
Would you do it for your own subordinates?
My unsubordinates?
Your own subordinates.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I know.
Not if it means murdering an innocent life.
All right. Anyway, the reaction was understandable. Fasha, what the heck?
I don't know. I just saw the plant. All right, and then the next thing I know, you're putting me to the ground. By the way, you're getting me dirty. When's the last time you cleaned these floors? Jeez.
Actually, the floors are very clean.
If I have handcuffs,
let him roleplay.
The floors are very clean. In fact, do you think they use odorizing cleaner on the floor too? It smells really nice.
You smell lemon fresh.
Is this
Alpine?
Not my standard.
Yeah, y'all guys know how to clean.
I tie your hands with rope because I don't want that to happen again, and I'll let you up.
Are these really necessary?
Yes. So, Don, while I'm doing this, what the heck was that flower that he got so uppity about?
Well,
apparently.
the brief Barb speaks up. From the brief moment I saw it, that plant's not from this. That plant is not a natural plant.
Not a natural plant from this world.
In that case, I think you need to speak with your patron about what just happened. Because that's the only thing I can figure out that just happened.
It wasn't a fey plant either. I don't know. Just my knowledge from what I've studied of plant life and in the books recently. That plant was never mentioned anything. That is because it is a devil's plant. From the hells.
What are you doing with such things?
That's what I want you to find out. This was discovered. Palone discovered this is during the raid of the operation of the illegal trafficking operation. We suspect that.
Also, wait for the hydrate.
We suspect that others are supplying this plant and to members of the family. Another thing.
Had to guess. This is a result of one of those devils. Specifically the last one, but yes. I'm pretty sure our goals align here, Hanagisha.
There was easier ways of doing that.
To be fair, I wasn't expecting your colleague here to incinerate it on the spot.
Also, to be fair, have you met us?
Yes.
Not gonna lie, wasn't expecting it either, but it is kind of my thing. As I'm still just on the floor.
I'm just saying, like, you could have just started with this instead of like just a casual argument between family.
Also, by now your hands are tied. I'll have helped you up.
Okay.
They're not tied tightly. It's just they're tied loosely behind your back, so you can't really aim a fireball unless you had look behind you and stuff like that.
One does not aim a fireball.
Thank you.
Firebolt or whatever.
Firebolt, yes. Yeah.
Typically, you still aim a fireball. You just gotta turn around. You don't really aim it too good, but.
Point is that the reason I cleared the room is because this is This is something that only a handful of individuals know. And I'm afraid there might be some more moles and we're afraid there might be some more moles in our certain branches.
Let me rejoin. My mic's acting up.
Oh no. We'll wait for another exit and rejoin.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, we good?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, alright. Anyway, so the main points I want to make is that, and for the fact that since you guys are not connected to the Mafia, any sort of leak is not likely to happen. That's why we want you to investigate them instead of us.
But wouldn't a team get caught easier than a singular person?
That's why we're.
I don't think that's the point.
The point is you are a team. You're the fire charmers. Your team will investigate.
I think he missed the point of what I said.
All right, in out of character terms, what were you trying to say?
I think he just meant a better team that specializes in investigation and espionage.
No, I was saying that it would be easier to infiltrate a family with one person than a whole team. I mean, you saw how well we tried to infiltrate earlier.
We believe that these operations are being carried out from legitimate businesses to begin with. So you could simply enter the business as the fire charmers looking to conduct normal business.
And how do we do that exactly? I'm not trying to pull your chain. Criminal acts is really not our thing.
Since when?
Name one thing.
Burning down the house of a mafia and
It was
killing
you!
It was your plan.
No, it was not!
You should have take an account for them not going through the plan.
I'm going to fight you.
Phantom's not there. You heard none of that. And also Phantom hurt his hearing. None of this. You're just looking at a building. Speaking of, do you tell Casper to go anywhere else?
I don't know. Am I allowed to speak with my bird?
Yes. You've always been allowed to speak with your bird.
Oh no, that 5-minute conversation kind of said otherwise.
Oh my god. I said you cannot control him, but you can talk to him.
I didn't even ask if I could control him.
Anyway.
Guess I'll look at Casper and I'll say, they are taking a long time in there. See if there's a window.
Looking through his eyes, he starts flying off towards the windows and starts looking in, and sees just various offices and everything like that. Nothing too fancy. Go ahead and make a perception check using Casper's perception thing.
Perception check.
It's just the raven or the crow, whatever it is.
Oh, that. I'll just roll it, and
I'll find the raven's status. Let's see now.
Well, I don't think it matters. I rolled 2.
Roll a 2. There is the raven, which is a +3, so a grand total of 5. Yeah, he's just flying around looking in at all the windows, and you're not seeing your friends anywhere in any of the windows as he's flying around. Meanwhile, back in the office.
I was gonna ask if any of the windows are, but I'm not even gonna risk that. I'll just wait for him.
With the low perception that it is, he's flying. He's starting from the bottom floor and working his way up, so it's gonna be a while. If you're asking why we don't send an individual in there, it's because we believe that they're very tight-lipped. Every operative we've sent in to try and investigate has either returned empty-handed or hasn't returned at all. Problem is, the ones who don't return at all have no information on which its off branch of the family is being used. Which also leads me to believe that they're now on high alert for other Mafia members to try and infiltrate the operation. That's why we're turning to you.
So the only leads you have is that there's the possible members in some family that you don't know about.
There's been a number of members of the family that have been vocally against the Don's methods as of late. We have the feelings that they're trying to usurp him in other aspects now instead of through brute force, considering that he has my support.
Well, who is those people? Let's start with them. That would be the easiest to narrow down.
Big Mundo is one of them to begin with. Not exactly a friendly fellow, and one of the hardest ones that we can pin down, being the head of the Mundo family. The members are just simple grunts for the most part, as far as we can tell. But like we said, we can't pin anything on Big Mundo, so we can't take any action. We need solid evidence to pin in against Big Mundo before we can do anything. It's the rules of the Mafia.
And what if it's related to our situation? Are we free to take it to our own hand?
If you feel the need to dispose of those that are dealing with whatever you're dealing with, That's on you. You're technically operating with permission of the Godfather to do stuff and outside of the jurisdiction of the Mafia. Now don't push your luck though. If you just go around willy-nilly off on our boys, then we will have a problem.
We don't kill indiscriminately.
Then we shouldn't have a problem with you dealing with less than reputable individuals. The silence is profound.
You want to snark? You want to snark again, Pasha?
Always.
You got something to say?
Always.
God, this is the second session now. So sad.
I'm having a great time, man. I get to mess with you and be in my character. I don't usually get to do both.
This is fucked.
So then, do we have a deal?
Can I add on to the deal?
Depends on what you're adding.
The old man that you retrieve our members from.
Master
I want you to meet his family. I was not so ready to hear the master part come out that mouth, but hey, yeah.
Master Jim Park is a well-known wizard. He's a well-known wizard in this city. In fact, and he's responsible for creating some of the magical marvels you see around here. He was a legendary hero back in his heyday.
He's a legendary hero still today. Look, the point of the matter that I make is that his family has been being harassed here the last time I was.
I'm still here. As Tilfa kind of raises her hand because she's been dragged into this.
Oh yeah, the disguise is off. Shit! I completely forgot.
Tilfa's been here the whole time.
So out of character, DM, is the rest of the members of the chosen wielders of the sacred weapons, are they also going to be characters that Hungakusha is trying to fuck? Or is this just a two-time thing?
It just so happened that it ended up like
that
this.
The first one wasn't? Yeah.
All right, that was Caleb's thing. I'm sorry. Is it characters that the party has met that we're trying to fuck?
Do you want the honest truth?
No, it was a joke. That's why I said out of character.
Then I will say nothing about how many you've met or if you've met all of them yet.
I feel like he's turning this slowly into some romantic novel that we don't know about.
No.
Yeah, just wait. We're gonna be the ones getting saved and swept off our feet by the chosen wielders.
No, to be fair, only the only romance that has happened or close to romance that has happened in this is stuff that you guys have initiated yourself.
I didn't initiate the noble or the other one.
You may not have intended it that way, but it ended up happening that way.
I hate it
here. Got him.
Anyway.
Yeah, some of their members has been harassed by possibly your men
Possibly.
for a while, as much as I know. I want them to be off your list.
The only things that we should be collecting from him is the land tax, which is the tax that's been paid every year. Are you saying that they're being taxing him more than they should?
I would actually like to chime in on this, despite being tied up. She should be exempt from the taxed entirely. Not only has she been taxed more than usual, which is against your protocols, as you said, Master Jimpak has contributed greatly to the technological and magical advances of this entire city, as well as he was once a great hero of the land. And not only that, this is his great 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 who I will let you know will be also the savior of the world, one of the saviors of the world that will save us from the demon threat. If none of these qualify as a tax exemption, then there's something seriously wrong with your tax brackets.
Apollon turns to Tilfa. Is it true that there's been boys coming to your house collecting taxes?
Yeah, they started ramping up. It started off as a once a year thing, and then they moved it to monthly, and now it's weekly.
Apollon looks back to the Don. He should have been. Master Jimpak has been alive for over 1,000 years. Any debt that he should have had on that land should have been far paid off before then. I suspect Mahone might have some boys that are pinching a little money on the side. If that's true, that would be one of the families you should investigate it as well.
Noble for the win. High five.
You know what? I'll give you that. Got me up. That was pretty smooth of you.
So that is the Mahone. So, of the three families we want you to investigate, the Mahone family for the money laundering money laundering, the Sigmar family for their trafficking of items, most likely. And if it's possible, check out Big Mundo. It might be easier to deal with the other two first before Big Mundo. Big Mundo's kind of a hard to approach individual. But I'm sure if
You're telling us.
If Big Mundo is behind all this, I'm pretty sure if you start messing with his operations, he'll come find you. That'll be your in.
Alright. Where do we even start is the question.
Sounds
like we know these families.
Sounds like we should start with the people that have been brutally taxing her, so.
That is true. But locating them is the problem. Not like we have tracking devices on them.
There's also the businesses. These businesses you can check out. While they're not related to the Mahone family specifically, and they're more related to the Sigmar family, these were once fronts for illegal goods trafficking. And he holds out a paper that has like 3 shop names on it. One is Bilford's Transportation Company. The other one is basically the 3 transportation company names written on there.
Right.
Basha, you recognize the names because they're big name companies. Like they do shipments from Brazil all over the continent for various different reasons. One is more produce, one's more like material goods, and one's kind of a mix of the both.
I recognize this one, Hangakusha. This one we order from time to time when we don't have the current supplies we need for town.
Do you think we should start with them first then?
We've never had any problems with them. Never had. The prices seem reasonable from what I can tell. So, I think it'd be a good place to start. I don't think it's coincidence.
All right, then we got our first target.
Very well then.
try not to get yourselves too ahead of the curb, and if possible, don't involve the cops. If they find out that you're here, well, we can't stop them too much.
Fair enough.
Get it?
So keep it low profile.
Get in, get in, investigate, deal with it, and get out. All before the cops arrive. Simple as that.
Wait, do you think the cops know about the rest of us being the fire charmers the way that you all found it? Would they be in the same level of competence?
Unfortunately, not really. Why do you think the Mafia runs the city?
Because you pay them off.
Very incompetent.
Pretty much.
Wait, which one?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Because you pay them off and because they're not competent.
Pretty much.
It's
Okay.
kind of both. It's kind of both.
I mean, we was able to escape, so.
The coppers, when they're serious, gonna be competent at things, but 9 times out of 10, like a lot of gnomes, they lack a bit of backbone.
I wouldn't say they lack back. Not a lot of gnomes. Like,
As Hungaku's just talking to him, I turn around and go towards Rabbit. I was like, "Can you untie me now?"
Sure. Also, out of character, gnomes with backbone are called halflings.
I hate you so much. Holding like this. How long was you holding that one in?
Anyway. So, with that in mind, the meeting basically comes to an end, and you're led back to the elevator. There, as you're walking down the hallway, also like the guards that were in the room before, they're kind of eyeing you because you think it's pretty obvious that something happened in there, but no one knows anything because the door was locked on and they couldn't get back into the room when the firebolt went off. So they're kind of keeping a wary eye on you as you exit the building. At which point Casper flies around again. He's made it up to like the 12th floor by this point. Fine, and then he sees the group exiting the building down below.
Can I raise up my arm to like signal him to land?
Would you know he's up there?
Make a perception check to see if you see him.
Sure. Let's see. Ugh. Damn, what are these fucking rolls? 9.
9.
This is not your day.
No,
Nah.
the greatest thing about my shit rolls today was the nat 1 preceded by the nat 20 on the following roll. That was amazing.
So yes, but yeah, no, you don't notice them. Phantom, you notice the people. So do you tell Casper to fly down?
You know what? Sure, I'll join you. And my bird.
Alright,
Casper. Land on Fasha's shoulder.
As you guys are kind of like led out to the front of the street there, a crow comes and lands right on your shoulder, Fasha.
Raven.
A black bird comes and lands on your shoulder, Fasha.
He is done with my nonsense, I can tell.
Oh, hey, Casper. Is Phantom around?
Casper, shake your head no.
Just shakes his head no.
Can you go get him for us?
You sense that he's waiting.
Casper, look at him like you're asking why.
Looks at you, looks towards you, Fasha, cocks his head.
Well then.
It's just how back open.
Well, I'm assuming Phantom will find us eventually, or Casper's not as smart as I thought he was.
Or he did.
Casper,
Casper, flipping the bird.
Before you even say that, Casper kind of pokes him in the head with his beak.
Ah! Hey! Attack roll, motherfucker!
It didn't hurt. Or he just kind of pokes you like, I'm paying attention.
Alright. I left Phantom at Jim Pock's house, by the way.
Oh. Okay. Let's go get him.
And with that, you guys start making your way back towards Jim Pock's house?
Yep.
All right, then. And you guys, and that's where we're gonna take our break for the evening. So we'll be right back, folks. Please go get some water, get the bathroom break. We'll be back here in a moment to continue our nonsense. Peace, brother. we're back. So, let's actually change the music here real fast because it's not quite dark and dangerous yet. So we'll switch over to here now and go with this and everything. So, you guys make your way back to Jimbok's house to begin your plans and for what you're gonna do. As you get there, Tilfa walks into the door and you see a concerned-looking Jimbok there.
Tilfa, good, you're okay. And the rest of you are fine as well. They didn't rough you up too badly, it looks like.
Yeah, thanks for the help on that one, old man.
What do you want me to do? What do you expect? My bird just complains.
As
What do you expect him to do? He's old.
As Phantom comes down and mirrors the exact same words as Jimbok at the same time.
It's like you could have backed me up that no one else was in the house. How about that?
I did. I didn't show up.
I was talking to the old man.
Why am I being yelled at?
This is fucking stupid.
Trust me,
I had your back.
Trust me, I've learned.
I supported your line.
Sometimes it's better to not say a damn thing. Otherwise you can never else in trouble. I know this. It's happened to me a lot. And it sounds like there's some infighting going on in the Mafia right now. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, people like the Dawn, but yeah. It sounds like Master Roshi to me right now. Well.
What?
I just realized, like, to me, I sound like I'm doing a Master Roshi impersonation.
That sounds
I
like
heard
it, yeah.
Master Yoshi, and I can't help but think of the green dinosaur with a robe and like a cane.
Master Yoshi? No, I said Master Roshi.
I heard Master Yoshi.
Anyway, so yes, you guys are back at Jimbok's house now. Tilfa kind of goes and starts making some tea and snacks again. With Fenrir the wolf now just like sticking by her side constantly. While you guys are sitting in the
nerds gotten into this time.
Well, it seems that we found ourselves with a deal we can't possibly refuse.
Oh, Barth, I've heard this spiel before.
Random, we might need your help.
What did you guys do?
Nothing. Why do you always assume it's us?
It's always you!
Damn, that was internal, huh?
bar pops in. It does seem to be your guys' fault for a lot of things.
Look,
all Fasha has to say about that is, nah.
Nah.
What do you mean? Look, the Dawn has asked us to investigate some families who's doing horrible things, which somehow, miraculously, might be tied up to what we're trying to prevent.
Oh, really? And how so?
They set the demon plan on Fasha.
A demon plant.
Yeah.
A plant that grows in the 7 hells.
I feel fine, actually, so.
Yeah, now you do. After the
Can I do an
fireball,
insight
you
check on
spewed out.
Fasha real quick?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I feel insulted, Caleb.
Insight 17.
17. Foster, how does your current actions look to Phantom at this moment? Again, you've had some time to calm down from the walk out of the from the incident and to the walk over here. So, how does your body language read to Phantom with a 17?
Seems normal. Seems like he's telling the truth. So I feel fine now, so nothing like tells you that I'm lying or anything like that.
Here's some
tea as Tilfa comes in and puts down some tea in front of everyone as the silent contemplation of the room continues.
Thank you. Look, it should be a simple job, probably most likely a stealth mission, but if it is to deal with what we're dealing with, we are free to take it out of our hands. And while we are here, we have somewhat of the Dawn's protection. Not completely, but somewhat of it.
So let me
if we do this,
guys,
our names are cleared. And on top of that, Jin Pak and his grand...
Yeah, let's see. Oh dear.
let me get this.
Oh, this year.
You guys go to the mob boss. Again.
I don't know if you noticed Phantom by the 5 guys that showed up. I didn't really have a lot of options, okay?
Again, out of character, I was upstairs. I didn't know who was out there.
Yeah.
Also, he had already told me that they had the others. If I would have tried anything that, unsuccessfully by the way, could have resulted with them being in danger.
Story of my life. Alright, fine. What are we doing?
No, we have to weed out the corrupt mafia. One of the families out of the 6 we have to investigate. 3 is trafficking people, as well as taking extra taxes from the people, plus a whole bunch of other things. We do have a clue though. So one of the what's it called? Is it a store? Yeah, a store that's controlled by one of these families. I recognize the name. So
one of the
basically they want.
And one of the transportation companies that exist in Brazil.
And basically we have to infiltrate the mob, but I don't know exactly how we're going to do that. We're not the most stealthiest bunch. I don't know if you remember the last time that someone had a plan that involved stealthing their way into the Mafia, and ended up with us having charges brought up against us. I'm so glad he's not here to defend himself.
And you think I was any better?
The guy who made the plan.
Point is, we're going to do this right this time and try to stealthily infiltrate the family and their businesses to find out what's going on.
It seems like the only way that we can do this is a stealth way. They're not exactly going to let us into the Mafia. I don't think we have time. I don't want
you fireballing your way in. That's just what I'm trying to say.
I don't think the world's going to wait while we try to work our way up the Mafia ranks either.
That's why we're infiltrating their business as customers.
Alright, I'll buy it. What's your plan?
Simple. Knowing Foster's nobility, Foster and you will walk into the facility named under the fire charmers to buy some goods from one of the plants. Teams of two are always going to walk in each way. So the first ones that Foster already knows will be up to you and Phantom.
I already have a plan. Can we go to one of the stores?
Yeah, the plan was to go to the one you know.
Yeah, let's go.
Right now?
Right now, I have a plan.
Okay, I go to the no granddaughter. It's like, it's best if you stay here for now. You are way more important than this mission.
She looks a little tentative.
No, hang on. I think she needs to come along with us because I had the sneaking suspicion that a similar event to what happened in the arena might happen with this.
God damn it, I hate it when you're right.
And he was also thinking the same thing. To be honest, I don't really have much experience with, well, anything outside of taking care of my grandpa. But
Time to get you some experience.
but I'm still concerned for his safety. I mean, yeah, he's still a powerful wizard, but his physical body isn't that great.
I'll tell you what, as Kyoku chimes in. I'll stay here with Jin Park and keep him safe from whatever mayhem and help him around the house. I might be able to learn a few spells or two. Might be more useful to you. Might be useful to learn some new spells. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sorry, I have no complaints.
That's fine. Diva, would you also like to stay here?
Who's Diva?
Fuck. Barb, would you also like to stay here?
Saw that.
It wouldn't hurt.
Alright, I'm really sorry. Someone's knocking on my door. I'll be right back.
You're good.
No problem.
I mean, I'll stick around. If things get pretty nasty and stuff like that, I'm sure our Phantom can send Casper to inform us, and I will come as quickly as I can.
All right, I guess we got our team. I'll do my best I can to protect you. So please stay close if you can.
As Fenrir kind of walks up and kind of stands between you and her, giving you a look of just like, nah, I got this, bro. only it's a little bit more aggressive.
Dog is wild. That's crazy.
Although it's a little bit more like she has me. E to protect her. You're fine.
I've never been so proud.
you get a mixture of hostility and pride. It's like, you know the wolf is being hostile towards you, but you can't help but feel pride that's actually he's standing up for her.
I turned to him. I was like, I know you can't hear me. I don't know if you can really understand me right now, but I've never been so proud of you until today.
Narrows his eyes in annoyance at you. This kind of gives you this like aggressive stare.
All right, let's go. Let's fucking go.
All right. Okay. Masha, roll a d4 for
So
me.
the door.
Roll a
So the
d4
door.
for me if you get a 4, re-roll. Oh wait, he's at the door still. Yes, you're right. So as you guys are making your way to the first location, I'm going to.
I quickly chugged the tea.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. So you guys are making your way toward this thing. Phantom Ragna. Just before you walk out of the door, just as you walk out of the door, or the wind picks up and a leaf blows and lands, and just happens to fly underneath the mast at just the right angle. It hits Hanyakusha in the eye.
What is happening?
Oh, hey, back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Some shenanigans happened.
You got blinded.
All right.
You got blinded is what happened. Anyway.
Ah, okay.
Pasha, roll a d4 for me. If you roll a 4, re-roll.
Okay.
Yes.
Fuck.
Roll it again.
1.
1. All right. So I'm going to send you the name of this. This is the transportation company's names that you're familiar with.
Was the last word necessary?
It is now.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, the things that you know about this thing, it's a historically old transportation thing, mostly known for transporting goods for the military purposes, but has recently moved away from mostly military actions and has gone more to civilian transportation, but it kept the name from the olden days. Making your way back into town. Making your way back into the city, you kind of ask people on the street for directions to the transportation company as a whole. And eventually you do find it. For everyone outside of Fasha, you see the sign on the thing, Ann's Transport Troopers.
Alright. You 3 stay here. Let me see if I can't work my magic.
Alright, how about it?
Alright, so you and Tilburg walk
in. You good with that?
Oh yeah, I'm completely good.
Alright,
Cool.
I'm gonna I find a shadow to hide behind.
It's the middle of the day, sir.
You're telling me there's not a shadow?
That's not a low light shadow.
Big dog, there are buildings everywhere. What you mean?
Let me double check.
This one is perfectly above us.
Let me double check the one with the shadow real
It's
fast.
directly above us. All I need is dim light.
Yeah, shadow is not a shadow is not considered dim light. A shadow is a shadow.
When you are in an area of dim light or darkness, I can use my action to turn invisible.
We're outside.
Yeah, outside.
There's not a single shadow outside.
There are shadows, but they ain't
do in the
dark.
shadow.
Yeah, they're in the shadow, but they ain't that dark. At least not to the point where you could be invisible.
I hate you guys.
What? He's spitting facts this time.
Anyway, so
before I walk in, I cast prestidigitation on myself to get any kind of dirt, any kind of like uncleanliness happening, just any stains on my robes, just all off. I want to look as clean as possible, practically sparkling.
All right.
Fenrir, right here with the others, okay? We'll be back.
Wait.
As Tilpa walks in with Fasha.
Why is she coming?
Walk in?
Because you said you 3, which refers to Ragna, Hanyakusha, and Phantom.
Fuck.
Phantom was supposed to be going in. All right, rewind time real quick.
No, this might work. Describe Tilfa's wardrobe to me.
Tilfa is very much dressed like a commoner for the most part right now.
You want me to use disguise self to make her look like a noble?
Yeah. He's not low class. She's definitely like upper mid class. So she's not like anything. If anything, with how well dressed you are, in comparison, she could be like one of your aides. Pretty much. But she just wears kind of more or classic common little dress, blue top vest, white sleeves, with red trimming. And a red skirt.
Let's not do this in front of the fucking store. Is there like an alleyway somewhere? Somewhere that's not in front of the store, like close by?
Yeah, you go down a few blocks, you go down a block and find a little bit more secluded area.
Alright. Yeah, what kind of alleyway is this? Is this like cement or is this like dirt?
It's cement.
Okay. Hangakusha, I want you to cast Disguise Self, and I need you to make her look more like a servant that has been working all day. So kind of
what maid you want?
Not particularly maid. We're going for more of a slave vibe.
What?
Ooh.
You do know slaves are illegal, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't be out in public.
That's why I said we're doing the bare minimum, okay? All right, so ruffle hair, a little bit of dirt on the clothes, stuff like that.
I cast Disguise Self, I guess. It's your plan.
Alright, so
it's myself and go across.
All right.
Basically,
everyone.
Her look doesn't change too much. She just looks a little bit more like she's been working a hard day, or been working and hasn't had a chance to properly clean herself before coming out of the house.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, her outfit doesn't change or anything like that. It's just dirty now.
You three stay close by. If anything goes wrong, I'm certain you will hear it. But
I mean, cast Fireball if anything goes wrong.
Royna starts snacking.
As soon as we see smoke, we know.
Love the energy.
Jerky. All right.
As me and Tilfa are walking back to the store, I tell her, I was like, okay, do not speak and do not make any eye contact, okay? And I might say some things, but trust me, I don't mean any of them. This is a means to an end, okay?
He's like, there's method to the madness.
Okay.
And before we start,
and
I
you
do
also
apologize.
the Disguise House hit her sword, I am assuming.
Hey,
That was the main part, yeah.
Because she does have the sword on her hip.
Can you make the image for the gnome? Because we don't have an image for her.
I just have the default one I made a while back.
I'll work on something later. Can you give me a description?
There you go. Technically, the wolf is like is a lot larger, but that's the best my AI could do at the time. And to showcase this on stream, where is the thing here? To showcase it on stream so the chat knows what it looks like, what she looks like. Bada bing, bada boom. There she is. That's Tilfa.
I want us to you put it in the.
It's in the D&D chat. Anyway, so walking into the building, looks very much like the front office of any sort of transportation company. A simplistic design. There's a receptionist desk. There's a few other customers in there, it seems. And people going about their work. Okay, as you walk in, one of the gnomes at the counter.
Thank you for visiting in the main office for Anne's Transport Troopers. As how can we be of service to you today?
Yes, I need to speak to the person in charge.
May I ask why?
Because Lord Fasha Tyran is asking for his presence.
Did you have an appointment?
No, this was quite sudden. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to send a letter ahead for convenience.
Well,
give me 1 second. And she steps down, goes into the back rooms area. Well,
Comes from the back rooms.
Don't you?
Comes back out about 2 minutes later.
if you would like to have a seat over here, my supervisor will be out in a few minutes. They're dealing with another customer at the moment.
Fair enough. What's a good fucking... Hang on, give me a second. Thinking off my head here now. Fuck. I sit down and I look to Pilfa and I go, Christina, sit down.
Kind of just looks at you, just what?
I telepathically speak to her and I say, do it.
It just kind of sits. I'm more confused. It was not by your action, but by the name choice.
I was thinking on my feet, man.
Who's Christina?
And she kind of just like whispers to you.
You will. I look at her. I say, "You will speak when you're spoken to." And I telepathically speak in her mind right after that and go, "Be quiet. Remember, don't talk, and don't make eye contact."
Okay.
You're clearly not used to having a voice in her head.
Well, she can clearly tell it's my voice, you know.
Yeah, but she's more confused. Like, how is he doing this?
You live with Jimbok!
Yeah,
How is this not a normal thing?
Yeah. Jimpok's not telepathic.
Also, he just uses normal voice.
Yeah, I always use my normal
I'm saying,
voice,
like,
so you guys can tell it's me.
It's magic. It shouldn't be that shocking.
She's
How
not.
is
This
he
is more like
getting to my
magic.
mind?
It's more like she's not used to it. Anyway, so about 5 minutes later, another gnome comes out.
I apologize for the wait, sir. You said you wanted to speak to the individual in charge of the company.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, that is not something that we can abide on such short-term notice. But if there's any questions, I can try and answer them to the best of my abilities.
Sir, I will have you know I am on important diplomatic shit. Give me a second. My brain went blank. I am on an important diplomatic assignment from my land. Now I am here to speak to the man in charge so he can help me with this matter. Now I will have you know that not only are you telling a noble from a different land that his simple needs cannot be met when he is trying to do the best for the both of our peoples, I also have the consent of the Dawn to be here to speak to the man in charge.
What does the Mafia have to do with any of this?
I believe that's for me and the man in charge to speak of.
You sense audible sweating in his brow. You can see that his brow is like, I'm afraid.
Audible sweating?
Audible, yeah, yes, it's
Audible sweating.
Audible. How do you sweat audibly?
very carefully. Anyway,
You sweat loudly.
Yeah, you see.
Why you're sweating?
You see him beginning to sweat at the mention of. I'm afraid that the the individual in charge is not physically here today. They are on business elsewhere. I can put you in contact with the manager that's currently here. That's about the best I can do.
Where is he? And I like just kneel down very slightly, just like an arch to the back, and I am like giving him the most disapproving stare possible. Like he has failed in life somehow.
I shall go and find him for you. One moment, sir. As he kind of just
Thank you.
Rushes off quickly.
I turn around and just I'm looking towards the front of the store, and I'm not even glancing at Pilfla, and I telepathically speak to her. I was like, all right, well that puts a dent in the plan.
Why
But
would
roll
you?
with it.
She as quietly as possible, all in a voice no louder than what you can hear.
Why would you even mention the Mafia? I thought I thought you were coming in as like, regular customer.
Well, if we can't, well, as I'm telepathically speaking to her, I was like, well, my plan was to speak to somebody in charge. We're looking for people that are trafficking other people. Who would have access to that? Only the higher rank officials. And my theory was that what company that's controlled by the Mafia would have the easiest way to traffic people? The transportation.
I think that transporting illicit goods is what he said. They already caught the human traffickers.
Fuck, did he? Shit.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Why does everything I ever come up with just like missing a very important detail or just like fucking just never works out? Ugh.
Because as a noble, you have your mind traveling to a lot of different things.
That is, of course, the in-game answer.
Yeah. The out-of-game answer is no one takes notes, but that's beside the point. Anyway. So about 10 minutes goes by, and you're kind of passively just like observing the area. From your passive perception of 16, nothing too suspicious seems to be happening on the frontier, which would make sense if they were hiding something, because of the fact that, this is it would be a front, and it wouldn't be so obviously out in the open. But after about 10 minutes,
that's the point of a front, to be obvious out in the open, so the shit they're doing in the back ain't fucking caught.
Exactly, yeah. So, but talking about like you're keeping a passive eye on the people coming in, like to do regular business with them. None of them seem out of the ordinary.
Well, every theory can be proven wrong.
Yep. After 10 minutes, a individual comes out along with the supervisor, and Foster, you do recognize this person. You don't. You've met them when you were younger. It's an elderly. It's an older gnome. You don't quite remember their name specifically, but you do recognize them as someone that your father has dealt with in the past.
Mr. Tyrone.
Hello.
It's been quite some time, young lad. Is there some sort of problem that we are aware of? Would you like to discuss this in our back offices?
Just to be sure, this is not the guy. This isn't the guy that the home dude said is in another place, right?
No, this is the assistant manager.
Assistant manager. And I was like, okay. Oh, I just need to speak with the boss. I asked where he was so I could go to him directly. As you can see, it's very important business. You wouldn't happen to have that information on hand, would you?
I believe he's
and then
currently
as soon as I finish that sentence, I cast Detect Thoughts.
Do a sleight of hand check for the casting of the spell.
Sleight of hand. Hang on. Trying to find it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry. Excuse me. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I can't fucking read. What?
It's a +1.
Is it a +1?
+1.
How's a nat 20?
The 21 total.
Oh.
21 total, not 20. Why are we asking that when it's a critical fail or critical success?
Because just because you roll, it doesn't matter. Critical roll nat 20 or nat 1 basically determines for absolute hit when you're in combat. So a nat 1 is an automatic miss. A nat 20 is an automatic crit. That's
lame. When did we start doing that?
Since the very beginning.
I rolled multiple nat 20s that weren't attacks and nat 1s, and you never have asked for the total.
For attacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna call BS on this one.
For attacks. For ability checks and saving throws, I've asked.
Dude, not once. I swear.
I've done so. Also, the fact that most of the time, when you did roll those things, the DC was lower than 20, probably more like a DC 15 or lower. When the DC has been higher than 20.
Oh, so what you're telling me is this isn't the cool D&D group. This.
Wow. I'm stepping back.
What he's saying is he wants us to fail.
I'm just gonna get myself a rat dice for this one. Insulting me in front of my face, God.
Bring up the VOD. Let's see it.
Prove my point.
It's mostly on YouTube.
Hit you with the whole compilation.
Yeah, no. I think the best example of asking for the total of, how about when someone tried to cast Arcane Gate to teleport their entire party to meet their patron?
I did not even roll a natural 20 that time.
Or nat 1.
Roll a natural 1.
Yeah, but you guys added the dice, and I asked for a total of.
Yeah, that's fine, but he didn't roll natural anything.
Yeah.
Like, when it's not natural, like, I'm assuming, like, that's fair. You need the total.
Yeah. Basically, to keep this short, in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, rolling a nat 20 or a nat 1 on a ability check or saving throw does not ensure automatic failure or automatic success. It is actually in the rulebook.
But it should be the best possible outcome.
It's the best possible outcome, the worst possible outcome. But there are skills and stuff that exist in classes that say, oh, my default roll is 10. Ask any bard or rogue player.
He is right.
Yes, I have seen rogues roll. I've seen bards roll a nat 1 and get an 18 on their checks because they had all these modifiers added on top of it. And jack of all trades.
Expertise, and then
expertise.
It's reliable talent for a minimum of 13 on any roll.
Yes. So that's why I now, more often than not, I will ask if something is clearly a fail. I will ask you, how do you fail this?
Well, yeah, well, that's the give and take of the system, though.
Yeah.
Nat 20 always success, critical for an attack. Nat 1 always a failure. That's the give and take. That's the balance of it.
Yeah, but even when you rolled a natural 1 earlier today, I asked for a total of.
I know you did.
Check.
Yeah.
And I know you did, and I told you. Critical fail. How do I critically fail this? And you kind of just glanced over it. I was like, okay, that was weird.
Yeah, because that one was a very specific thing. But anyway, point of the matter is 21. Very good.
Lame.
Yeah.
Lame and changing the rules.
I have never changed the rules on that one. You just haven't. You just haven't had the experience of dealing with the rules up until this point.
Bruh.
Anyway,
Caleb, I know what the oppression feels like now.
I am stepping back from this.
Anyway,
we're gonna give you your inward pass today.
Can we move on before one of us throws them out the window?
Anyway, so what was the question that you were asking? Oh, it was just a sleight of hand and to see if the spellcast and the tech thoughts went off without anyone noticing. And also because this is a very magically heavy society. In fact, 90% of arcane magic was invented by gnomes. So that's why I had you make a sleight of hand check for stealthily casting the spell.
No, I understand the reason.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your question that you were asking?
I asked, it was like, I was basically detecting thoughts to see if it was on the forethoughts of his mind of bringing up the location of the person I wanted to talk to.
So the words that pop up to the forefront of the mind and the words they speak out of the mouth at the same time. I'm afraid he has gone to the. I'm afraid he has actually gone to your territory to have continued negotiations with your father.
Fuck.
Then, as the detect thoughts continue, the first thought that pops into her head afterwards. But what is the young lad and doing dealing with the Mafia? Slightly concerning, and I worry about his future now. He should. Hopefully, he's not falling in with a bad crowd.
That's his thoughts.
That's his thoughts.
First crowd.
Hey, you should have. I think what you should have detected thoughts was the guy next to him.
Well. It seems that I was sent here for no reason then. All right. I'm sorry for any of the trouble I caused you, and I take a bow, and I say goodbye, and I take my leave.
If you ever need any help, please, you come to speak with me. I'm sure we'll figure something out to assist you.
Understandable.
Yeah, and the last thing of the tech thoughts you sense in them is basically, the long and short of it is that they're concerned about you dealing with the Mafia and want to try and turn you away from the Mafia.
That
Also,
could mean two things.
Nah, I'm good. All right. Come along, Christina. As we both walk out.
Right.
And she just kind of falls.
Well, that was a wasted effort.
So what happened?
By the way, Pilfa, sorry for all that. I know I said sorry
fine.
beforehand, but...
It's fine. I was more confused than anything. And it
Yeah,
didn't.
it's up the acts, I suppose.
Yeah, I know that it can be a little jarring when my voice pops up inside your head for the first time.
But from what I can tell, doesn't seem like there's anything wrong going on here. In fact, everyone seemed really nice.
Yeah, so that's what I concluded as well, at least from the outside. We should report our findings to the rest of the group, and maybe they'll have the next call to action.
Yeah. In the meantime, for everyone that stayed outside, make a perception check for me. I assume you guys aren't just like standing around doing nothing.
Yeah, we're sneaking.
Yeah. So make a perception check as you observe the location.
As I smack my pupils dilate and I roll at 18.
I didn't need. No, I think I did. Never mind.
Yeah, 17. And Phantom?
Hang on 1 second. Perception. 20.
20. From the collective knowledge that you all observe from your observations, you do not see anything that would strike out as strange, mysterious, or even suspicious. There doesn't seem to be any like handing over of currency at the gates or anything like that, where the wagons are coming in and out with the supplies. There doesn't seem to be any shady individuals constantly looking over the shoulder, or is it just a standard, normal work day at this place?
Too normal.
What?
It's normal here. Too normal.
I see what you did there, and I am ashamed.
I hate it here.
I too hate it.
And eventually Fasha and Tilpa return.
Yeah, can you hear that sweating?
I almost spit out my drink, you asshole. Oh my god.
I turned to Foster, so how did it go?
As far as I can tell, this place is a bust. By the way, you can drop the disguise self.
Oh, yeah. I clap my hands.
And Tilpa returns to looking exactly the same, just not dirty. And the sword's back on her hip again.
Unfortunately, this place seems to be a legit business. If they are doing something that's going against the Mafia's wishes, it's impossible to tell without breaking some laws first.
Although, I think dropping that you're on a mission from the Dawn might not be the smartest thing either.
Yeah, remember? Wait, hold up. You dropped that we was on a mission for the Dawn?
I didn't say I was on a mission from him. I just said I had his consent.
Yeah, that. I mean,
I was like, you need the Dawn's consent for a lot of things in this town. It's not the biggest deal.
yeah, but
It is the biggest deal. There's people who hate the Dawn, who's doing things under his name.
I think it might put them more on guard if you mention that you have consent from the Dawn to do things with. Just me, though. I don't really know. Sorry.
The people who are after wants to grave harm to the Dawn.
I know. I was hoping they would panic, but either they're innocent or they played it really cool.
Or they were just freaking
like
out.
We're going to have to stalk. One of us might have to stay overnight and see if they see anything.
You think you can let Casper stay here overnight?
Casper, right?
Better yet, Phantom, why don't you have him do a roundabout to the building and see if he doesn't see anything suspicious? Heavily guarded doors, maybe transporting things they shouldn't be transporting, secret passageways, stuff of that manner.
Or very weird plan.
Able to do so now that that's wrong, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to try. Hey Casper, take a scope around, see if you find anything. Take a scope for anything that should be.
So Casper flies around, leaning up back against a wall while everyone else kind of plays it cool. Phantom, you look through. I'm assuming you look through his eyes, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Looking through his eyes, flies around the thing. Eventually finds like an overhead skylight, looks into the thing. Through and through, there doesn't seem to be anything illicit going on. The cargo that's being transported does not seem to be shuffled away into another section of the building or anything like that. It just seems to be functioning normal business.
Ask Casper, do you see any strange plant?
Who's Caleb?
Oh shit, Phantom. Got it. All right, you got me on that one.
You're welcome.
Dude appearing into my to the eyes of my bird. I don't think I can hear.
No, you cannot showcase that thing. Pretty much what happens is when you get your sight and audio from him, everything around you goes blind and deaf. So,
Yeah, he can't hear you right now.
You cannot hear anything they're saying, but you can relay what you're seeing.
And I'll just do that.
All right, Hagakusha, it's your time to take the lead. I'm all about out of ideas.
You might have to wait till nighttime.
Oh man,
After all of this cools off.
He doesn't realize we're moving on from the conversation. He's still deaf. And I start waving my hands in front of his face.
I still can't hear anything. You're gonna have to.
Or see.
I thought he said he couldn't hear him.
No, he's looking. He can't hear or see.
See, that's what I thought.
So why are you waving your hand in front of him?
Because he can't see.
What?
Flipping grab me! I stay out of character.
I'll just walk away. We leave.
This is our subtle way to just ditch Phantom.
Tilfling does kind of like tap on you to get your attention.
Hey, flipping leave.
No, we didn't.
No.
I see you like 10 feet away, about to just back away. No, of course not.
Do you guys want to go to the second location then?
Yeah, what choice we have?
Well, I'm all out of ideas. My whole plan was to leverage the fact that we've done business with them before, plus nobility status, plus some lies here and there.
Yeah, criminals don't really care too much about.
Also,
much about what?
Also, that manager looked more concerned for you than anything that you mentioned.
Really? I didn't notice because I didn't roll an insight. So.
No, but
I'm kidding. I read his thoughts. I read his thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Tilva, I noticed his thoughts alluded. So. Oh, by the way, I can also read thoughts as well as speak into other people's minds. Is something I can do.
Well, I'm familiar with the detect thoughts spell, but I don't know how you speak into someone's mind.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting. I learned from a retired member of the Fire Charmers. Yeah, it was actually a knack of his. He was able to cast it multiple times a day. And he taught me how to broaden the range of my mind as well as my thoughts. Which surprising coming if you knew the individual.
Meanwhile, one Hanyok is just slightly makes that Excalibur face as he describes the person.
Wait, what?
I was describing River, so you're making the Excalibur face from Soul Eater.
Oh, God damn it.
No one sees it because it's under the mask.
It's called world building.
Anyway, so there was the other two places that we could check out: the spellbound deliveries and the substance shipping solutions. Which ones did you guys want to go to?
I'll tell you supplement shipment solutions.
All right, but for now, I will tell you. I will tell all of you. It's probably for the best if we don't mention the Mafia from now on. We shouldn't push our luck. Once was enough.
Really? I think any of us would have
Gave
told you.
you that idea?
I'm just throwing it out there. I did it because I thought I was sure, but it seems my assumptions were wrong. but let's not invite trouble.
Meanwhile, Ragna's just been munching this entire time.
Anywho,
He just. What are you eating anyway, Ragna?
Turkey.
Turkey.
Oh, forgive
Every once in a while, you just see Ragnar like trying to get jerky out of between his teeth.
Yeah, that's his owl animation. He's picking his teeth with his claws.
Oh shit!
Anyway,
Every now and then
so-
he'll find something, he'll put it back in his mouth.
Anyone else have any ideas on how we should proceed?
You say that. As you say that, I'm already sending out my bird to the next location. Yeah.
Caleb, it's kind of hard to hear you. I think you need to get closer to the mic.
Seriously?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it
you've
was
been,
going
like,
in and
cutting out it really bad all
my
this
bad.
entire session.
I just said as you were saying that, I went to go and get snacks. As you were saying that, I already sent my bird out to the next location.
Nice. Well, let's get going.
Alright. The walk to the substance stripping solutions takes a little bit of time. It takes about half an hour to get there. As you get there, I assume, Phantom, that you are not just watching through Casper's eyes the entire walk there, right?
Bathroom.
I take subsequent stops just to see where I'm going because I can't trust my team to guide me as I walk.
I would have carried you, but like,
So yeah.
More so, I can't trust Hida to make that assumption.
all right. Well, I carry Phantom on my back.
Oh, okay, this works. Just tap on my shoulder 2 times when you're ready to drop me.
Got it.
Anyway, go ahead and make a perception check with the Raven stats.
What is that? +3?
I had it before. I believe so. Yes, that's what it was.
I like we went to detective music to smooth jazz.
5.
5. Since you aren't having Casper like thoroughly like get close enough to it, you're trying to maintain a distance away from it. Casper does not see anything at distance away from it.
Does he see any trees that he might be able to peer through? Or any buildings? Close by.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of buildings to perch on. This is a metropolis type city.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
You guys make it there, and you see the substance shipping solutions building before you.
I double tap Caleb. Wait, Phantom. Shit.
Ooh.
I caught myself.
Oh, we're here. Alright. And I just walk now. So, Anyaksha, any ideas?
We could try the criminal's approach.
The criminal's approach?
As I clap my hands, I use the sky self to make me seem more of a thug.
So what does that mean?
It means he's going to ask for a specific kind of good. A good that might be dealt under the table, if you catch my drift.
Oh.
Yeah.
As he kind of looks towards the rest of the group of Ragna and Fasha.
If anyone wants to come with me,
I guess I can tag along.
Gives me an opportunity to flex.
I I'm not going anywhere until you tell me the plan.
Oh,
Like,
the plan is to go to the pavilion and ask about some special plans. Like a drug dealer.
Well, I don't have any better ideas, so I guess I'll go along.
Also, disguise self on Vasha as well. You look too noble to go in to do this.
I will have you.
Describe his illusion.
Oh shit! Great. Now we put him on the spot to disguise just now. He looks more of a pedestal. The shirt is a little bit like it's like normal class, but like it's more a little more torn up. Black clothing, probably some spikes on his jacket.
Going Mad Max on this one?
Yeah.
No, he's turning him into a goth vampire.
Yeah, golf vampire.
I just have my hands up, and I just have a very questioning face, and I go, "Why? You do know there are nobles who do drugs, right?"
Yeah, but I'm just a thug. It'll be weird for a noble and a thug to walk in at the same time. This is not some bar joke.
And usually nobles send for other people to get their more questionable items. I'm
You can
sure.
say
The logic to this, Fasha, makes sense to you.
No, I get it.
Unless you want to go both going as nobles and then try to ask for some plans for the high quality.
Ha! That would be funny. Two nobles traveling together. Huh. That aren't related. Oh my god, that is hilarious, Hangakusha.
I could go as your bodyguard I could go as Ren.
I mean, I was already going against the bodyguard.
You will never be as half as good as Ren is.
All right. Now that we're done shooting insults at each other, can we get going? I say as I inch my way to the place.
Well, we only need 2 people. So it's up to y'all to decide.
2 nobles, 2 bodyguards. Let's go.
What? No, there's too many
bodyguards.
Going as a group would be worse.
Okay, fine. Stay down here. I start shooting.
It's like no one watches movies.
All right, fine.
What's the movie?
I don't care. Fuck!
Gotcha.
Got him.
He's referring to one of those theatrical performances.
Oh,
Yeah,
play.
It's like a play, but with a major illusion.
All right.
Oh, I think I've seen one of those.
Arcane
My grandpa does
projection.
those.
All right. Here's how this is gonna go. Me and Hangakusha are gonna go in. Sofa, you're gonna stay here. You're not really much needed for this plan. You might be out of sight comparatively to the 2 of me and Hangakusha. Phantom, you're gonna stay here. Make sure you have Casper flying overhead. We don't want any surprises. Ragna, you're gonna stay here and protect these 2.
Protection, got it. Bodyguard.
Yep.
He flexes.
There's no shade in the middle of the morning. I'm going to rely on you to tap on my shoulder 3 times if there is any danger creeping upon us.
Can't you just have?
I might not see it in time with my bird.
I guess Casper by himself wouldn't be able to just be like, like just see a bunch of rushing guards or people with weapons and be like, oh, that's danger, caw. Right? I guess that wouldn't be something he could do.
He could, but a tap on the shoulder would probably be faster. I'm just saying.
Probably.
Or it could just pick you up and fireman carry you.
I like that idea.
If you touch my crotch, I will scream. If you
Fireman carry, as in I pick you up and I hold you by the stomach on my shoulder. And then my arms are like holding on your legs.
All right. Well,
I know what a fireman carry is.
while you guys plan out what to do, if there's danger, me and Hangakusha are gonna head inside.
You want to take the lead and talk us out, or you want me to?
Oh, this is your plan. This is all on you, buddy.
Got it.
Going into the building, very similar or sort of setup, only different decorations and everything like that. Walking up to the countertop. Some of the other like patrons here, you two dubiously. I mean, you're definitely a lot gruffer looking than what people expect. Hello, how can I assist you today?
We need you to come talk to us outside.
I'm afraid I don't quite understand.
Look, I need to ask you something, man, but I can't do it in front of these lovely people.
Security!
Great plan, my man.
As a couple of known security officers come out, is there a problem here?
No, it's not a problem at all.
Wait, they're not gnome security guards.
They're all short. A bunch of short people run up to you.
All of here.
Sorry. The security guards that come up are actually humans.
Sounds like a hard trouble.
Sorry, my bad. The humans show up. I forgot the lore of my gnomes for a half second. A couple of humans.
I just wanted to ask about
people.
I just wanted to ask about something that I need to shift, but it must kind of embarrassing.
So you threatened to talk to me outside?
No, I didn't threaten you. I just asked you. You threat.
These guys.
No one, you guys can't hear what's happening inside.
Out of character. What are we, the mob?
I felt the disturbance in the force.
Look, I don't see anyone else coming up with ideas.
This is why we talk about our plans first.
I feel
Like how you did?
I was sure of my plan. I'm not entirely sure you knew what you were doing.
DM, are there
So
any
sorry
open
about my
windows that Casper can fly into?
Make a perception check with Casper. +3.
Alright. Come on, high roll. 8.
8.
Gosh darn it. Gosh.
Not immediately that he sees. But you do see a lot of shipping containers being offloaded from a wagon currently.
Is there anything specific that I noticed with the shipping containers?
You would have to have Casper fly closer, and we'll get to that in a moment. So, with that in mind, and back inside back inside.
If you want, you can bring the security guard with you. I don't care. I just don't want normal people to hear about it. Have an image to hold, you know?
Off character, this sounds very sketch.
Make a roll real fast.
No. This sounds
someone
like
out there?
everything is going to
Yeah.
plan. I'm having flashbacks to his last plan in the city.
Sir, the guard's like, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Oh, so I can't do this, but they can? Why? Because I look funny to y'all? And I'm not a normal person to you as anyone else?
No, sir, because you're being. No, sir, because you're scaring the workers here and acting all threatening.
I'm not acting out. I was just threatened by guards. Just for asking a question.
Yes, but generally, people can ask a question in the building, respectfully.
And this place is terrible. All I wanted was something shipping. I'm been treated like a criminal for asking a question.
Fucking Fred Sanford over here. Holy shit.
Please leave, sir.
Scared of people, I'm the one scared.
So please vacate
So
the
what-
premises.
I don't walk outside. Eh?
Oh, Hanaksha. That was quick. How'd it go?
What happened to customer confidentiality?
All right. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, while they're walking out of the thing, if Casper, are you having Casper fly closer to the wagon?
I am.
All right, go ahead and make another perception check.
Come on, please. Yes! Yes!
Damn.
NT, nat 20.
So 23.
Well, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
You might still fail.
Huh?
Jesus.
That happened before with the persuasion check.
It really hasn't.
With a natural best possible outcome, and it's still a fail.
I like
crazy work.
I just thought of this, by the way. I feel like the whole critical fail and critical pass thing is like should be applied to everything, not just attacks. Just because using your reasoning and logic, Kita, is like it gives the opportunity of a character with a high modifier to fail at something, which that's more reasonable. We are all people. We all fail at things sometimes, even the things we're good at. And it also gives like characters that might not have the ability modifier to pass something the chance to do it. You know?
It's called getting lucky.
Yeah, you get lucky, you know?
That's why, and that is also why they have it that way as written in the rules.
Oh, Mr. Rule Man over here.
I'm gonna roll you.
You see what I mean? People these days, they treat us like criminals.
Anyway, with the 23 you get. Flying around on the wagon offloading does not seem to be anything suspicious. But there is something that Casper does pick up that doesn't quite look right. While most of the containers are relatively the same in appearance and everything, there are several containers that look discolored to some degree. As
Discolored?
yeah. Like 90% of the boxes that are being offloaded from this wagon are fairly dark wooden crates. And it's like good quality crates. And there's some that have like metal secure metal wraps around them for like extra security and sealage. But fundamentally, like, the wood looks very rich. It's like, these are good crates, not old crates. But then there are some crates that look to be made of the same material, but have faded. Almost in an unnatural sort of way.
Like something in there is spilled or something of that nature.
Or something inside the boxes or what they've been exposed to is discoloring the wood.
Do I notice a smell?
You do not.
Well, there's some lead, at least. Oh. I don't want Casper to try to open the crates just yet.
Also, there's a bunch of gnomes out there, and a half giant offloading the wagon.
I assume so.
Yeah, there's a lot of people down there offloading stuff. In
I'll
fact,
call Casper back.
Yeah. In the meantime, as you guys are making your way back across the street, Ada, you do rendezvous with the rest of them, with the rest of the party. There, still in disguise.
I clap off this guys and say, I tried. I got cold security immediately.
Yes, you basically invited somebody to a dark alley with strangers, and
I never said dark alley, I just said outside.
I'm surprised it didn't work as well.
I just said outside. You assume dark alley.
Apparently, so did they.
Phantom
Yeah.
looks at the location and he decides to walk inside.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so you
Alright,
walk,
Ralph,
you
great.
walk into the office area. You do see that some of the security is still around and everything like that.
What the fuck was that?
Probably my eyes.
Oh, I thought that came from Caleb. That's why it scared me.
I think it is. I think I saw Hanyakisha's react. Activate.
It sounded like Caleb like fell down fell down a hole. You know, it was just like, oh my god.
Oh dear. Anyway, so as Phantom, you walk into the thing, you see security is still kind of mingling around for a bit. What do you do?
Are they like blocking the entrance or no?
No, they're in the lobby area. Like this is just the front office. So you got like the receptionist desk, you got some waiting area, you got like a drink vending machine out there at front.
A drink vending machine.
You don't know what it is. It looks like a thermos of some sort.
Okay, that's. This is gonna be great, you guys. I'm gonna do a thing. What thing? I don't know.
Oh no.
I guess
We're just throwing noodles at walls and seeing if it sticks.
I'll walk towards the receptionist. I'll greet them like, hello.
Hi there. How can we help you today?
Doing a little bit of shopping. That's all. Doing a little bit of shopping.
Well,
My screwing up.
might I recommend that you go to the shopping district then? Unless if you're starting a business and you need shipments delivered to your business.
Yeah. This little eureka moment happens, and I was like, yes.
And what business do you run, sir?
Nothing too fancy. Just a little potion shop. You might not have heard of it because it's brand new. Like, thought of this idea a few days ago. And I was wondering if I might be able to stock on some ingredients.
Well, you come to a good location. Granted, we mostly deal with foods and other perishable things, but some ingredients we can provide a bit. Where is your business operating out of?
Traveling. It's Barb. Potion maker.
I don't really have a set location. This is kind of like a traveling ordeal, if you catch my idea. If you catch my drift.
What you mean you drip?
Unfortunately, our company here at Sustenance Supply. Oh my god, I forgot my own name. I have it written right here. Well, unfortunately, we at Sustenance Shipping Solutions really provide to permanent resident locations and everything like that. So if you ever do find a permanent location to settle your business down, feel free to approach us again, and then we'll be able to assist you with your needs. When you're ready, Eddie, and he pulls out a card from behind the desk and hands it to you. You can send it if you get a hold of a messaging zone. You can send a message to this individual here to let them know that you're ready to make a contract. It's your business card.
A business card.
Yep.
Is there a name on this business card specifically, or is it just the name of the company?
It's the name of the company, and it lists off like several different names on there. And it's just like different gnomish names. So you can message any one of the individuals, and they also have a time, like a set daylight time next to them as well, to kind of showcase like, oh, this is when they're working.
I see.
Yeah, you can give any one of these message service assistants a contact at the respective hours that they are working, and they can set up an appointment for you.
Very well. Now, I am quite curious of the stocks that you do supply, just so I can give myself an idea of the type of purchases I will be making.
You didn't do your research beforehand, sir?
Again, this is a brand new idea, like 2 days old.
Well,
Phenomenal.
in the sorts of things, sustenance shipping solutions provides food ingredients and other medicinal ingredients needed for or consumption into various companies and stores from around Cestria and everything like that. As a potion shop, we can provide some small amount of medical herbs that are gathered here by the local adventurers and others to assist in your funding of things. However, there is the shipping cost of everything like that as well. So most potion shops tend to use us to get more rare and hard to find resources.
Hard to find resources.
Exactly. But as I said, you need to have a physical location that you call your business calls a permanent residence in order for us to send stuff to you.
And I look to my left and I look to my right and I lean in. You wouldn't happen to supply your what would they call them? Patrons? With certain demonic flora, would you?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, this is going to be great. I already wasted my my nat 20.
You got 3 glory dice.
21.
21. The gnome slowly opens his eyes to a narrow slit. Kind of looks you over, taking a read on you. I'm sorry, sir. Those are not something that we specialize in. Perhaps you'll have better luck finding another distributor. Good day to you.
And I look at her and I look at them and I go, such a shame. I might have found a person. I may have found a permanent residence. Too bad. I'll have to put my business elsewhere, and I walk away. I keep the card though.
Alright. Anyway, meanwhile, everyone else is just like, you just saw Phantom just walk into the building again after after the other two came back.
Hey guys.
A success?
Yes and no.
Well, I'll give it to you. You were in there longer than Hungakusha, so you succeeded in some way.
So, good news. Well,
let's walk a little further from this place, and I'll tell you what I found. As I start walking forward. Am I being heard? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We're
Oh, okay.
waiting. We're following.
Tell was following.